Well, you're not in there. Now you are. All right, I'm not sure if I have audio. Can somebody say something? Oh, I mean, I can't hear myself, or I can't hear anybody. Well, why have I not got sound? I'm going to mute myself while.
2:12 p.m.
I can hear now.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
What's going on?
All right.
Doing great.
How are we all today?
All right. So there we go. So this week's Tech Day will be on what to do if an app is not accessible. So let's start off with on the computer. The first thing to do is to Josh, can you turn your audio down?
Yeah, my speakers are off. I don't know why.
All right. Yeah, turn it down. Somebody's got their audio on.
I am muted.
I mean, sorry, their sound. Josh, turn your volume down.
My sound on my phone is really off.
Your audio on your phone?
Yeah.
All right. Now it's better, I think. Okay. So, all right. I'll just keep talking and maybe everybody else can hear me. So, first thing to do on a computer if an app isn't accessible is to read the manual. It's not a very appealing thing to do. Usually manuals are boring, but sometimes there are accessibility tips that you can use to use an app. Like if the app is like Google Docs, you have to turn on accessibility support on, by pressing Control-Alt-Z, and you wouldn't really know that unless you read the manual or stuff like that. So that's one way that you can look around and see if the developer has built anything in. Using advanced screen reader navigation commands, JAWS has the JAWS cursor, and NVDA has the object navigation. So you could use that to try to see if things work well. And Josh, looks like things are better now, so that's good. I don't know what you did, but that helps.
I put him in the waiting room.
I do it.
I put him in the waiting room.
All right. Can you still hear me, Josh?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, all right. So, advanced navigation. So, if you can't get to something through the keyboard, like Tab, Shift Tab, F6, all that, you can use advanced navigation commands to try to get, look around or whatever. Look around the screen, NVDA plus numpad enter to activate things, that kind of thing. Next thing, text recognition. Basically, that's OCR, optical character recognition. It's basically scanning the screen. Basically, your screen reader will try to find any text on the screen that that it normally wouldn't be able to find. That's basically just a graphic or an image. And NVDA has that, JAWS has that, Narrator has something like that. VoiceOver on the iPhone has that now a little bit in a way, and we'll get to that. So basically you use that, and you find the whatever you want to click on, and you press enter, or you route your mouse to it with NVDA, numpad, divide, multiply. I can't remember right now, but you can click it that way, but pressing enter does work. So using that, you can actually play some video games that rely on text, stuff like that. It can't read images that are like just pure graphics, like somebody in a picture. It can't read the what the person is, who the person is, or what they look like. It can read any text that's in an image. So you can also try another screen reader or magnifier. Even magnifiers. If Zoom Text doesn't work with a program, you can always try Microsoft's magnifier, Windows magnifier. If narrator doesn't work, or NVDA doesn't work for something, try narrator or JAWS. Sometimes other screen readers can pick up the slack where others leave off. And hey, Cindy, I'm glad you were able to join, Cynthia. Basically, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of the presentation, but I'm glad you were able to join, and when you accept the invite to Google Classroom, which will I don't know if Jill sent it out to your Gmail address yet, but you'll be able to listen to the video, the whole video. But we're just going over ways of working around apps or programs that are not accessible. So just listen in, and so I was at try another screen reader or magnifier. This is on the computer. You have multiple options, so you can definitely do that. Contact the developer. If you the developer is the person who has created the program or the app. They're always looking for input and feedback. So you can Google search the app name and try to contact them through their website or the app, or that kind of thing, and just let them know that hey, this thing doesn't work. This part of the app doesn't work with screen reader. This button needs labeling or whatever. So they're always, and some of them will help, some of them won't, and some of them won't even answer. So it's always worth giving it a shot, though. And the last course of action would be just to find another app. If the app doesn't work very well, and you still can't use it with any of the other options, you can just find another app to use, because there's usually an alternative. Like if LibreOffice, which is an Office program, doesn't work very well with a screen reader, you can always try Google Docs or Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office. On the phone, you have a few options on the phone, a few less than on the computer, but still, you've got a few options. The phone is usually a little bit more locked down than a computer, general purpose computer, but so you don't have other screen reader options usually, but there's still options. Reading the user guide of the app will usually help sometimes. Like with Blind Square is a good example. That app is a really complex app, very complex navigation app. So reading the user guide is kind of, really important with some of these apps that are more complicated. And next option, if you have an iPhone XR, XS, or 11, or 12, or SE, SE 2020, the latest one, you have and iOS 14, which is the latest iPhone software. You have a feature called screen recognition in the voiceover recognition settings, and you turn that on, and VoiceOver will try to make the app that you're using a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier to use. So you can try that out. It's using machine learning, so it's not always going to be the best, the best, but it's worth a try. Contact the developer again on the phone, just like on the computer. You can contact the developer, and you can go to app support on the App Store. You can search for the app and go to app support, and they'll have their website or whatever you can go to, or you can just Google search the app name, and contact the developer that way. And again, tell them what problem you're having, be as specific as possible, and they'll try to hopefully try to help you out. And the last option is to find another app. If you can't get something done with one app, there's probably another app that does close to the same thing. So those are the ways that you can work around any accessibility issues that you find in apps on the computer and on the phone. So, any questions?
I know a lot of the stuff, Devin, is getting a lot more accessible. And a lot of the iOS apps especially are getting a lot more accessible with stuff. I mean, I still run into a few apps that don't work too good with, accessibility. Strava's one of them. There's a couple other ones that I've actually deleted because I just didn't use them anymore.
Yeah. You've got a few apps that are troublesome that you just and try screen recognition with if you have an iPhone 10 or whatever, see if that works with the ones that you have trouble with.
Yeah, I've used it since it's come out. It does pretty good. One of the big things though is and I still haven't figured out how to do it exactly this yet. It's like reading PDFs on the computer, because they're just a scanned image that the computer's taken, and trying to make that accessible. I still ain't figured out how to do that yet.
It's time for your 7th period class.
You can try. Do you have JAWS, Dan?
Yeah.
You can try. Let's see. It's insert space, then O, then D for OCR document.
Okay.
And see if that works.
All right, I'll try that.
All right. Anybody else?
All right, that sounds like a end of session here. I'd like to Josh, I'm going to bump you out again. There we go. I appreciate Cindy and Dave. It's Devin that's got his not muted.
Oh, sorry. Is that?
All right. And if y'all can't tell, me and Devin are sitting side by side. So if one of us is muted and if neither of us is muted, it gets a lot of feedback and it's confusing. There's like a echo a second later. But Dave and Cynthia, thank you for joining us. You might have missed a little bit. This meeting starts at 2:15. With Devin's prompting, I probably will at least start it. I mean, there's Tyler. Is Tyler in? Okay. It just now said you joined. But we will have the video up. If you do not have a invitation to our Google Classroom, I'll double check after this and make sure you have one. There'll be a question or so about the presentation and a link to the video that we just did. So like I say, this is a regular occurrence and it's a good time for us to get together. We do have a much shorter meeting on Tuesdays that we just touch base with each other and make sure everything's going well. So I'm glad y'all joined us. And if y'all don't have anything else, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks a lot, guys.
See
All
y'all
right.
next
Have a
week.
good one.